Thanks for staying with us right here on Sunrise. Take this next interview as a public service announcement. Research shows that alcohol-related liver disease are caused by excessive intake of alcohol. The truth is, alcohol and your liver don't mix. For some people, consuming as little as 1 glass of wine or beer a day can cause liver problems to develop. And there are several stages of severity and a range of associated symptoms. And Dr. Marlon McKay is here to discuss with us just that. Good morning to you, Doctor, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Penny.
I must say, I knew there was a link between alcohol and liver disease, but I wasn't like as confident as I am this morning. Like, it's real. This is like real.
No, this is real. Your liver is an amazing organ. It's your largest internal organ, many functions. And literally everything that we take in, everything that we eat or drink has to go through the liver for the liver to break it down, to absorb it, to make protein, including the bad stuff. So when we are taking bad supplements, over-the-counter things, and alcohol, it goes through the liver. And alcohol can't be stored, such as other nutrients. So when we are drinking, well, when people start drinking alcohol, the liver sets all its other functions aside to deal with the alcohol and to get rid of it fast enough. So if you are punishing, or we like the term insulting your liver with lots of alcohol, you end up damaging your liver.
So we're in that time of the year, you know, festivities back to back, and you know, besides even that, I mean, as South Africans, we're probably one of the most ranked up high in terms of like alcohol consumption as a country. Men and women alike, unfortunately, young people can binge drink as well. So we sort of like have a serious problem. The effects of alcohol and how bad it is for us.
So there are different ways of looking at it. Alcohol damages the liver, fact. It goes through 3 stages. So you get the initial stage where you can develop a fatty liver as a result of alcohol. So the liver cells become filled with fat. If you persist in drinking, because you know your liver has a remarkable mechanism and ability to regenerate. So if we cut off part of your liver and give it to someone else, that part can regrow. If you drink and then stop drinking, your liver can heal quite quickly. However, if you continue to insult your liver regularly, you then develop a type of liver disease called alcohol hepatitis, chronic inflammation of the liver. And if you still persist in drinking copious amounts of alcohol over a longer period of time, you then develop liver scarring or cirrhosis, which is end-stage liver disease. Now, what's going to happen over Christmas usually is that a number of people will take in a large amount of alcohol over a short period of time. What you call an acute alcohol binge. And that can cause also acute liver damage. But if it's just for now, your liver will replenish and regenerate and heal from that. However, you can also cause alcohol poisoning again by drinking a lot of alcohol, not drinking enough fluid, so the amount over a very short period of time. So I think what we are saying is the key word is moderation. Be gentle on your liver, love your liver, be careful how much you are taking in, and take care of the harm, because you may just precipitate an acute liver crisis where you can harm your liver irreparably.
Okay, so it was a little crisis in our newsroom when we were discussing that this is what we're going to have on air. And the question became, there's gotta be a safe way to drink alcohol. And it's like, okay, I don't know if Dr. Marlon McKay is the one to tell us that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
The safest way is no alcohol. The second safest way is moderation. Now, there are guidelines, all right? And of course, it's usually less for women compared to men. Be gentle on your liver. And so we talk about so many units of alcohol per week or in one session, okay? And the real thing is, don't drink and to get drunk, or don't get drunk if you're drinking. Do it mildly, responsibly, in smaller amounts over a long period of time. Take in a lot of water. I can't believe I'm telling people how to drink. But anyway, but you do it in small amounts over a longer period of time with meals and taking in a lot of water to prevent the dehydration. Alcohol is a diuretic, so that's why we go to the bathroom more.
Yeah, because the reality of it, you know, and a lot of us as Africans, there's a feeling that, you know, we just don't know how to drink socially. We drink to get drunk. And the reality of it, Doc, is we're trying to, people are drinking, is to educate, to say, okay, what are how to do it safely, so you also understand the impact that it has on you. Somebody, I just been asked in control, is there a connection between a beer belly your liver when you drink.
So remember, when you drink alcohol, you also take in a lot of calories, carbohydrates. All right. So you get the fatty liver, which is fat cells, amount of fat cells in your liver, but you also get excess fat deposition, and therefore your waist circumference increases, and so absolutely you can get a boop, or this beer belly, that is associated with copious amounts of beer over a longer period of time. So it can lead to obesity, which in turn can lead to effects like type 2 diabetes. So while we are talking about just the effects of alcohol on the liver, it affects your heart, arrhythmias, high blood pressure, cancer, especially breast cancer. So it's not just the liver, it's the amount of other organs, the spillover effect that it can have on other parts of the body.
Okay, then the other question comes, and you said it earlier on, that obviously it's different for men and women in terms of your intake. And it's not just because some guy decided that it's like that. Why is it like that?
Science. It's science. So in other words, if you take the woman's liver and a man's liver, the woman's liver will need less alcohol to do the same amount of damage compared to a man's liver. All right. So when you look at the guidelines for safe alcohol intake, it's usually half the amount of alcohol that a woman should have compared to the man. So women should obviously drink a lot less than men to have the same amount or to not cause the same amount of damage to the liver. It's just science.
What are some of the symptoms for liver disease?
Yeah, you see, so that's the key. The liver is such a remarkable organ that it will not, most of the time, does not have symptoms. It has no pain fibers, so that you're not going to feel any pain over that area. It's only when you have already damaged the liver extensively that you will start getting the symptoms. So you may have the symptoms of a binge, such as the vomiting and severe headache and abdominal pain, but no direct symptoms from the liver. And this is the scary part, because your liver has suffering damage, ongoing damage, but you feel quite okay until you may develop loss of appetite, severe vomiting, jaundice, yellowness of the eyes, pancreatitis, damage to the pancreas. And then a doctor has to tell you, does blood test, and he says, listen, you have now damaged your liver to a significant degree. No symptoms, you can see it only on a blood test. So that's scary, and that's how we need to look after our liver.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think the part of the question is, do we make a distinction between different types of alcohol? So the principle is all alcohol. Obviously, if you're doing actual measurements, and you're allowed about 6 to 8 glasses of wine safely per week, and the same with beer, and probably if you're drinking spirits, a few more shots a week. But alcohol is alcohol. They both have the same effect on the liver.
Okay, so let's talk about the dangers of underage drinking as well, because that's another problem that you have, the long-term effects that will have for a lot of young people. It's festive season. I just came out of school. I mean, it's been a tough year. That's it.
Absolutely.
You know.
So the amount of liver damage and the ability of your liver to break down the alcohol is also dependent on weight and age. So the younger you are, the less you weigh. And yet some of these kids drink the same amount as of an adult. And so you have a faster effect of damage to the liver in that binge state. And that's why kids can suffer alcohol poisoning, because the amount of alcohol. And then starting to drink at a younger age, it's time related. So if you start younger, you are going to get end-stage liver disease much earlier. And so instead of getting it in your 60s or 70s, you now start getting liver cirrhosis in your 30s and 40s. And if you look at the death rates from liver disease, it's going up higher, and it's starting, the age at which it starts, it's starting to come down. So there's an acute illness with alcohol poisoning, because they're smaller, they can't break it down fast enough, and then the chronic effects, the long-term effects are happening a lot earlier. So it's just a bad idea completely on every level for kids, especially now with matric banquets going on and end-of-year celebrations of the exams, to be drinking at all.
And
not even and then not even talking about the drinking and driving and the celebration, that type of partying that happens afterwards.
Okay. Well, Doc, we're going to have to leave it at that. And, you know, obviously you said all alcohol. So all those ladies who are going with champagne darling as well can get away with it. Even that.
Can't get away with it. And then if I can just squeeze in quickly, how do you know that you're drinking too much? Has anyone ever told you to cut down on your drinking? Cage questioning. See, have you ever become annoyed when someone tells you you're drinking too much? Have you ever been guilty about the amount of alcohol you drink, the G. And then E, have you ever had an eye-opener drink? Be wary if you're waking up wishing for a quick alcohol drink. You're in trouble.
You're in trouble.